Well, the Somali government is vowing to defeat the militant group al-Shabab, which remains a major threat despite losing territory to government forces with the help of African Union peacekeepers. At least 12 civilians were killed and 28 others were wounded when al-Shabab militants carried out twin attacks against African peacekeepers and government officials on Monday. It was the first major attack since al-Shabab vowed to avenge the killing of its leader, Ahmed Godane, by U.S. airstrikes last week. Al-Shabab has selected Abu Ubeid Ahmed Omar to replace Godane. Now, for more on al-Shabab's new leader and its implications, I'm joined by Daud Aweis. He's a reporter with U.S. Somali Service. Daud, welcome to Africa 54.
Thank you very much, Vincent.
Now, the new leadership in al-Shabab, of course, kind of looks like it was asserting itself yesterday in that attack. What do we know about Ubeid Omar, the new leader?
And Ahmed Omar Ubeida is one of the key leaders of al-Shabab. He was there during the time of Godane. He served in several positions when he was in al-Shabab. And suddenly he was chosen as an advisor to Godane last year. And he was very close to Godane when there was a division among the top leaders of al-Shabab. And he sided with Godane. That's when the signs of that maybe he might be promoted to higher positions appeared, because he sided with Godane, who was the leader, and then those who were opposing Godane were killed by Godane's group.
Now, in fact, there's some people who are thinking that perhaps with the death of Godane, the group might perhaps divide or weaken, because there's some who didn't support the position of Godane. Does it mean all of them were killed and everybody now is loyal to the new leadership too?
It doesn't seem so, because we have some other al-Shabab leaders who are in other regions like Imbai and Bakol, who are openly opposing Godane. And it's unlikely that they will just support the new leader without conditions or maybe without talks. But what we know is that the group is like a network. They have several networks inside Somalia, or maybe in the East African region. So it's in a kind, it's a challenge to the new leadership, because they have to make sure that they can put together all these groups, which is not an easy task. And also there are some divisions among the groups. So all these things will be a challenge to the new leadership, and it's not going to be easy to say that al-Shabaab has been defeated, or maybe they will be losing the war within a very short time, or maybe a short period.
So actually you're saying something that I wanted to ask. To what extent has al-Shabaab been weakened if you compare, say, 2 years ago to what is happening at the moment? Is it weaker, or is it actually as strong as it was?
We can say that al-Shabaab now is weaker, because they were in Mogadishu and they have been sacked, or maybe they have been kicked out from Mogadishu in 2011. After that, they were losing ground to the government. But now it seems that this is a big operation, and with the cooperation of the African Union forces supporting the Somali armed forces, the government now is controlling many areas than before. And al-Shabaab now, they are struggling to make sure that they remain with the stronghold of Barawe, which is a port city as well. If they lose that, then they will be in a problem, because they lost Kismayo in 2012. They lost several places in central Somalia, in southern Somalia, they lost several places. So this is like a very important remaining point, and that's why they are trying to make sure that this place still remains in their hands.
It's a little bit hard to estimate, but in terms of percentage-wise, how much of the country is under the control of the government of Somalia, and how much of the land is under the control of al-Shabaab?
We can say that the government does not control the whole of the country. Apart from having a problem with al-Shabaab, there is also a division among the Somalis themselves in clan. But in many places, the government now is gaining control and is having much land than before. In central Somalia, the government now has gained more control of some new areas in southern Somalia as well. And al-Shabaab now is remaining with its stronghold of Barawe, and also parts of Middle Juba and parts of Lower Juba. Still, they have a much to control, but not that you can compare with 2011, when they were much stronger and they were also able to fight with the government forces in the capital city. But now they are weaker than they were in 2011. And the government is trying to gain control of many areas with the support of African Union forces, although some people are doubting whether the government can keep this momentum of trying to make sure that they they ultimately defeat al-Shabab.
Well, Daud, thank you very much for your insights. Daud Aweis is a reporter with VOA's Somali service. We want to know what you think about Africa 54 and the stories we covered. Join the conversation on Facebook. The address is Africa 54, and check out our headlines 24/7 on voaafrica.com.